Hello everyone, this is Yamin and welcome to Web Knowledge. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can send email notification in Laravel. So over here, we have some email over here, and we'll have a send email option over here. We'll have a send email button, and if we click on that button, it will take us to another page where we'll be able to write some text over there, and there will also be a button called text, and if we click that button, it will send an email to that specific email address. So here you can see there is a lot of email over here, and only valid email is this one and this one, and rest of the email is just random email. So we'll send some email to those addresses, to those email address. So for it, let's go and first create a option at the right side, like send email button over here. So for it, let's go back to our code, and we'll directly go to our resource, then views, and inside views we have the admin folder, and inside admin folder here you can see we have order.blade.php, and this order.blade.php is actually this view, whatever you are seeing over here, and here you can see print PDF. So here you can see that we have the print PDF table header over here. So let me just copy this table header and we'll paste it over here. And instead of print PDF, we are going to say send email. So if you save it, then if you just refresh here you can see we have one more column, and it is called send email. So here we are going to have a button called send email over here. So let's go back, and here you can see for each loop, and inside this for each loop we have, here you can see print PDF button and deliver button. So here after this print PDF TD, we're going to mention another TD over here. Let's say here inside this TD we are going to have a anchor tag, and inside this anchor tag we are going to say send email, and we are going to have a bootstrap class here. We'll say here btn. Let's say this bootstrap class name will be btn info. Let's save it, then let's refresh, and here you can see we have a button called send email just next to this. And holding on, if we click on this send email button, it will take us to another page with the specific ID. So if you click on this send email, then it will take the ID of this column and take us to another page. So here you can see we have the href. So inside this href we are going to have 2 second bracket, then we'll say here URL to first bracket to single quotation, and let's say here the URL name will be send underscore email, and we also need to send the ID for that specific row over here. So for it, here you can see that we have a for each loop or $order as $order, and we are showing the name like this $order name $order email. So using this $order, we can also get the ID as well. So here after this send email, this single quotation will give a comma over here, then we'll say here $order, this arrow sign, we'll say here ID. So we'll also send the ID with this URL. So let's save it, and right now we'll go to our web.php and create this URL. So let's go to our route, then web.php, and here let me just copy this route, Ctrl C, and I'll paste it over here, Ctrl V, and here you can see that our URL name is send underscore email. So we'll say over here send underscore email, and the route will be get, and we also need to write over here ID because we are sending the ID from here, and we need to mention the function name in the admin controller. So let's say our function name will be send underscore email as well. So right now we'll go to admin controller and create this function. So let's go to app, then http, then controller, and we'll go to admin controller, and let's go down directly. And here we are going to say public function send email to first bracket, and we'll give to second bracket, and we are also sending the ID from here, so we also need to mention $ID over here. So here from here right now let's just return a view. We'll say here return view, we'll give to first bracket to single quotation, and we are going to say over here admin dot Let's say our blade file name will be email info. Let's say email underscore info, and let's save it. So right now let's go to our admin folder and let's create this email underscore info dot blade dot php. So here this is our admin folder inside view. So I'll just right click over here and then click new file. And here I'm going to say email underscore info dot blade dot php. So Control S and then save. So here let's just write a simple thing. Let's say HTML, and in the body let's say here h on, and let's say send email to user, and let's save it. And right now if we just refresh over here and if I click, let's say this one, it will take us to another page, and here it says send email to user. So we'll have a different design. Obviously we'll have the sidebar to that page and also like this design as well. So for it, let's go back, and here you can see that we have home.blade.php in the admin folder. So let's go to home.blade.php and let me just copy everything over here, Control A, Control C, and I'm going to paste it in this email underscore info.blade.php. So let's remove this and Control V, and here I'm just going to remove this include admin.body. So let's remove this include admin.body and let's save it. And let me just refresh here, and if I click send email right now, here you can see it took us to another page, but the CSS is missing because for some reason our page is unable to find the like public folder, I guess. So what you can do is that here you can see we have the head section. So inside this head section at the top we are going to say base, and inside the href we are going to say here /public. So let's save it, Control S, and if we now refresh again, here you can see that the view is proper right now. So over here we are going to do one more thing, and that is here you can see that the design is a little different. Here you can see a black background, but here everything is same color, so we are going to change it. So for it, here we'll go to our, let's go to any page, let's go to let's say order.blade.php, and here you can see div class main minus panel and div class content wrapper. So we are going to copy these two class, I mean two div, and we are going to paste it over here after this header. So after this header we are going to paste this and paste this two div, and we are going to in this two div like this. Let's save it. Then let's just refresh again, and there you can see we have the black background. So right now we'll have a few input field over here, but before it, here we'll go to our admin controller, and here you can see we send the ID over here. So right now what we'll do is that we'll declare a variable over here. We'll say over here $order equal to, we are going to mention the table name, and here let me just go back, and here you can see whatever data you are seeing over here is coming from the actually order table. It's coming from the order table. So we are going to mention the table name, which is order, then we'll give to double clone, and here we are going to say find to first bracket $ID. So we'll get the data for a specific ID and we'll store it in this $order variable. So here we are going to send this $order to this page. So here we are going to give a comma, then we'll say here compact to first bracket to single quotation, and here we are going to say order. So right now let's save it and let's go to our email underscore info.blade.php, and here inside this div we are going to mention a h1 tag, and here we'll say send email to, and from the admin controller we are sending this order. So here, so we'll print the email address from here. So here you can see we write email like this, email. So here we'll give, in order to print anything in the Laravel, we need to give two second bracket, and inside it we'll say here $order, then we'll give this arrow sign, and here we're going to say email, and this $order is coming from here. We are getting the specific data for a specific ID, and then we are sending that to our this view, and we are showing that specific email over here. So right now if we save it, then if we just refresh here, then let's click send email, and here you can see send email to that email, you can see yamin@gmail.com. So let's just add a style over here. Let's just say here style, and we're going to say text align, it will be center, and we'll also say font size, it will be 25 px. Save it, then let's just refresh, and here you can see. So right now we'll have some input field. Let's say here we'll have 4 input field. So for creating input field, we are going to mention a div, and inside this div we are going to say here level. Let's say in this level we'll say email greeting, and we'll have an input field here. Let's say input field, and input type will be text, and we'll say name equal to greeting. So if we save it, then if we now refresh, here you can see email greeting. So let's just have this in the middle. So in this div, let's add a style over here. So let's say here style, it will be let's say padding left. Let's say padding left, let's say 35%, not px, 35%. And if we save it, then if we now refresh, okay, it's in the middle. Now let's have some gap among them. So here we are going to say padding top, let's say 30px, not percent, 30px. Let's say, then refresh. Okay, that's fine. So email greeting. So let me just copy this, Control C. Okay, I forgot to mention the form over here. So let's say here form. The form will open over here, and let's end it over here. And inside this form, we are going to have a few div like this. So let me just copy this, and let's paste it here. And so after email greeting, we'll have email, let's say first line. You can name it anything. I'll just go with first line, and here name equal to, let's say first line. And let me copy this again. Let's paste it here, and after it, let's say here this one will be for email body. Let's say name equal to only body. And let's say when we send the email, that email will also contain a button, and if the user click on the button, it will open something. It means that button will contain a link. So here let's say here email button name, and here we'll say here name will be button. And after this, let's give another div, and let's say here email URL. Then here we are going to say let's say URL, then the last one will be, let's say this one will be email last line. So let's say here email last line. So name equal to last line, and this will be the last div, and this will be the, let's submit button. So input type, it will be submit, and for submit button we do not require name, but we'll have a value, and let's say here value will be send email, and we'll have a bootstrap class. Let's say here it will be btn primary. Let's save it, and right now if we refresh, so here we can see that we have some input field over here. Okay, let's just fix their position. Here we use the label over here. So for the label, we'll just write a CSS at the top in the head. So here we'll say here style, and inside this style we are going to say mention the tag level. We'll give 2 second bracket, and inside this label we are going to say here display inline block, and width will be let's say 300px. So save it, then let's refresh. Okay, so width instead of 300, let's say width will be 200. And let's say for the level, we'll also mention the font size, let's say 15px, and font width, it will be bold. Let's save, then let's refresh. Okay, now this looks better. So right now what we want, if you click on this send email button, it will send the email to this email. So right now, in order to send mail notification, we need to follow some step, and I just write those steps in this notepad. Here you can see email notification in Laravel. So for it, we need to write these 3 commands in the command prompt of our project directory. So here the first command is php addition notification clone table. So it will create a migration table in our database. So let me just copy this, and here let me just show you one thing. Here if we go to our database and migration. Here you can see the last table is order. So right now let's go to our project directory and let's open a CMD here and let's write this command, which is php artisan notifications. There is a s notifications clone table. So here we are going to say php artisan notifications clone table and press enter. Don't worry, I'll also give this command in the first comment. So right now we'll go to our Sublime text, and here you can see that it created a new table called notifications. Here you can see. So we do not have to do anything in this table. You can just close it. So after this command, we have another command which is php artisan migrate. So right now let's go over here and let's say over here php artisan migrate and let's press enter, and here you can see migration is done. So if I go to my database and let's just refresh here, and here you can see we have a new table called notification. Over here you can see. So after this, here our third command is this one, php artisan make notification my first notification. Now here this is just a name. You can give this name anything you want. So let me just copy this command, Control C. So if we run this command, it will create something in the app, this folder. So let me just go to my command prompt and let's just right click over here. Okay, let me just copy it again. I did a mistake. Control C, then Control V, and here instead of my first notification, let's say here send email notification. You can give this name anything you want, but we'll go with this, and let's press enter, and here you can see notification created successfully. So right now if we go to our app, and inside this app here you can see we have a new folder called notifications, and inside this notifications here you can see send email notification, which was our this name. Here you can see send email notification. So let's go over here. We need to make some changes over here. So let's go to send email notification, and here you can see use keyable. So after this use keyable, we are going to declare a variable, and it will be private variable. So we are going to say here private, then let's say here dollar details. Then here you can see that function underscore construct. So inside this two first bracket, we are going to mention this dollar details. So here we'll say dollar details, then we'll say here dollar this arrow sign, we'll say here details equal to dollar details, which is this one basically. So after this we'll go down, and here you can see to mail notifiable, and here you will notice that we have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 line in total. So basically using this we are going to send the send whatever text we write over here to that specific person email. So here you can see line, you can make this line as much as you want. So let me just copy this on, Control C, and let's paste it over here, Control V. So let's say here this one will be greeting. So we'll say here greeting, greeting, and inside this greeting we are going to say here this dollar this arrow sign details. So let me just copy this on, and let's remove everything from here, and inside this greeting we are going to paste it, then we'll give to third bracket, and inside this third bracket we'll give to single quotation, and here inside the single quotation you can give any name, but let's go with greeting because that makes more sense and more easier to remember. So after greeting, here you can see line. So for line we are going to do the same. So let me just copy this on, let's remove this and paste it over here. So greeting, will create a greeting in the email. It means this line will be in bold text, and here whatever this line, here you can see line, this will be just simple text, and here you can see this will be let's say first line, because here we have a few line over here. First line, then email body, then button name, email URL name, and last line. So here let me just copy this line again, and we'll write this, and here this one will be for email body. So let's just say here body, and here you can see action, and in action here you can see first we have notification action, and this one will be URL. So this first one is work as a button, and this one work as a, the second one always work as a URL. So we'll just paste this 2 times. Here let's remove this, and let's remove this as well, and before this comma we'll write this, and after this comma again we'll write this, and here let's say here this will be button, and here let's just say here URL, and this one will be last line. So here we are just going to say here instead of body we'll say here last line. So here you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, and here you can see 2, 4, 5, and total 6 over here, and we also have total 6 input field over here. You can use as many input field as you want. You just have to increase the line or creating over here. You can just repeat all those as many times you want. So right now let's save it. So the send email notification part is done. Don't worry, I am going to explain every part. If you are confused how everything is going, don't worry, you will be 100% clear. I'll try my best to explain it as simple as possible. So right now we'll go to our email_info.blade.php, and here you can see that we have a form over here, and inside this form we have email greeting, email first line, then email body, email button name, URL, and everything basically. So here inside this form we are going to say here action, then the method will be post, and you also need to mention @CSRF. So let's say method, it will be post, and in the action we are going to say URL to first bracket to single quotation, and let's say the URL name will be, let's say send user, like this, send underscore user underscore email, and here we are showing the user email, but we need to send the ID for that specific order. So I mean the specific row. Say here we are going to say comma, then we'll say over here order, this arrow sign, ID. Since we can get the email, so we can also send the ID from here as well. So we are sending the order ID to this URL. So right now we'll go to our route and create this URL. Let's go to our route, then here web.php, and let me just copy this one, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. The method will be post. Let's say here post, and let me just copy this, Ctrl+C, and let's just paste it over here, Ctrl+V. So we need the ID because we send the ID from here, and we are going to mention the function name. Let's say function will be send underscore user underscore email. It doesn't matter whatever the name is. So let's go to our admin controller and create this. So let's go to admin controller, and here we are going to say public function send user email. We'll give to first bracket, then we'll say over here $ID, then to second bracket, and first of all we'll declare a variable. We'll say over here dollar, let's say order equal to, we are going to say here the table name, which is order. We'll give to double clone, then we are going to say here find to first bracket $ID. So first of all we are getting the specific order, I mean whatever button we click from here, then which user we want to send the ID email actually. And after this we are going to say over here dollar. Here in the send email notification, here you can see that we declare a variable called $details over here. So we need to write this $details in the admin controller. So we'll say over here $details, then we'll give equal sign, then we'll give to third bracket, and this third bracket will end with a semicolon. Then let me just go to send email notification over here, and here you can see that we write greeting sorry, not this one. Here you can see details. We write over here greeting, first line, body, then button, URL, and last line, right? So first one is greeting. So here inside this details, we'll give two single quotation, and we are going to say over here greeting, then we'll say equal, then this arrow sign. And here this greeting should match with this greeting. And then, okay, I forgot to give a request, dollar request over here, then comma ID. I forgot to give this. We need dollar request to get the input data from here. So here we are going to say dollar request, this arrow sign, and here in email underscore info, here you can see that for email greeting, name equal to greeting. So we'll go to our admin controller, and here we are going to say greeting. Then we need to give a comma over here after this greeting. Then let me just copy this and paste it over here. So after greeting, we have first line, body, button, and URL. So let's say here first line equal arrow sign. Let's keep some gap over here, and in the email info, we write first line like this, name equal to first line. So we'll say over here request first line. So after first line, we have body. So here we'll say body, and in the email info, I think I also write over here name equal to body. So here we are going to say body, and after this we'll say this one was for button, I think button. So we'll say over here button, and in the email underscore info, we say name equal to button. So here it will be button, and after button we have URL and last line. So here it will be URL, and here it's also URL, and the last one is last line. So here we are going to say last line and last line. So here this URL is this one, and this is coming from email underscore info plate, and this is the last line. And after this, in order to send the email, we have to after this third bracket, we need to write over here notification double colon. We'll say here send to first bracket. Then here we are going to say dollar, and here you can see order. So we are going to say over here order, then we'll give a comma over here, then we'll say here new, and here you can see our this file name is send email notification. So we are going to say over here send email, we need to write it exactly, email notification. Then we'll give to first bracket, then we'll say over here dollar details, and end it with a semicolon. So whatever we write in this input field, and if we click this send email button, then every input data will be stored in this variable, and it will be stored in this dollar detail array, and we'll send that array, dollar detail array, to this send email notification, which is this one, and from here the email will be sent. And here you can see that we mentioned the this one, and we are actually over here finding the specific row, and we are telling that from this row we want to send the email. So whenever if you just write this dollar order like this, then what we'll do is that it will find the email from over here. Here you can see there is a lot of column over here, but it will automatically find the email and send the email, because you can see over here email written over here. It will just find this email and send that email. Now there is a few more thing that is left, and that is, in order to use notification, we need to add use notification at the top over here. So here we are going to say here use notification, then again we need to write over here use app. Here you can see that we have app folder, and inside this app folder we have this notifications, then send email notification. So we are going to say over here app / notifications / send email notification. And we also need to obviously add the order model at the top as well. And right now there is one more thing that we have to do, is that we need to go to our app backslash models backslash order models. So we'll go to our app models, then we'll go to order.php. This is our model, and here we need to make some changes. So right now we'll go to our user.php in the model, and here you can see in the user.php we have use notifiable. So let me just copy this, and I'm going to paste it in the order.php over here, use notifiable. And then again let's go to our user.php again, and here you can see use illuminate backslash notifications backslash notifiable. So we need to copy this and we need to add this in the order model at the top over here. So let's save it. So everything is done. Now there is just only one thing left, and that is we need to go to our .env file. So let's go to our .env file, and here you can see that we need to configure our mail over here. We need to write over here mailer will be smtp, then mail host will be smtp.gmail.com. We need to give mail port 465. Then you need to give mail username, which is for me this one, yaminshakil9@gmail.com. And you need to give your mail app password. I'll show you how you can generate mail app password. The mail encryption will be SSL. And mail from address, I mean from which mail you want to send the address, it will be this one, yaminshakil9@gmail.com. And here you can see that mail from name, you can just mention a name over here. You can give any name over here. We mention over here e-commerce mail. You can write it anything over here. It doesn't matter. So let me just show you how we can make the mail password over here. You can see. So for this mail password, we need to use mail app password. So for it, let me just go to my mail. So here you can see that this is my mail, yaminshakil9@gmail.com, and here you can see manage your Google account. Just click over here, then just directly go to security option, then go down, and over here you will see something like this, password and two-step verification. And you need to make sure that you need to have two-step verification on, and only if your two-step verification is on, you will be able to see the app password. If your two-step verification is off, you won't be able to see this option, app passwords. In order to active the two-step verification, just click over here and just follow some process. And in order to create app password, just click over here, app password. Then you need to verify, I mean you need to give the password over here, email password. Click next. Then you will see something like this, not something like this. Just select this one, then choose this one, Windows Computer, then click generate. Then it will generate a password for you. Just copy that password and paste it over here. Okay, so that will be all. So right now let me just explain everything whatever is happening over here. So first of all, here when we click this button, we are sending the user with the email to this page. So basically there is nothing is happening related to email. We are just sending the user with the ID to this page, and every email notification part is over here. So over here, whatever text you write, and if you click send email button, then what will happen is that here you can see that whatever text you write in the input field, it will send all the input data to this URL, which is send underscore user underscore email with this ID. So it will go to our web.php, and then it will call the admin controller this function with the ID. So let's go to admin controller, and in the admin controller, here we are first finding the specific row using the ID. Then we declare this variable $details, which should be matched with this one. Then inside this $detail, we are saying greeting equal to, we are requesting the greeting, I mean the input data from here. Then in the first line, this first line we should be matched with this on this greeting, this first line, this body, everything should match over here on the left side, whatever we have. And on the right side, this greeting, this first name, this body, this button should match from this email underscore info.blade.php with the name. So we are storing those data to this $details variable. Then we are calling this notification function, and we are saying that we want to send a mail over here to the specific order email. It will automatically find the email. You don't need to mention the email column. So we are just sending this $details to this send email notification to this page, and it will automatically send the email. So I hope you are clear. So right now let's save everywhere. I hope I didn't do any mistake. So right now let's just write some text over here. Okay, so we cannot see the text over here because text color is white and the background is also white. Input text color is also white, that's why. So what we will do is that we'll go to order, not order, email info.blade.php, and here you can see we have the input field for greeting. So let's say over here style, and we are going to say here color, it will be black. So let me just copy this style, Ctrl C, and let me select every input field over here, this one, this one, this one, and this, and this is the last one. Ctrl V and save. So right now let's refresh, and if I write anything, so we can see it. So right now email greeting, let's say here hello from web tech knowledge, and email first line, let's say here good day, and email body is my first email notification. You can write anything, and let's say we'll have a email button. Let's say here button name will be click me. Then let's give a URL, email URL. Let's go to YouTube, and let me just give my channel URL. So let me say over here web tech knowledge. Let me copy it, and let's paste it here. Let's give a email last name, let's say last line, let's say thank you. And if I now click send email, here you can see it's reloading. Okay, the thing is here, let's go back, and here you can see email@gmail.com. I do not have this Gmail. This is just a random Gmail. So let's go down and let's choose this one, yaminshakil7@gmail.com. Let's click send email, and let's write everything over here. Everything is automatically saved, the URL and the last line, thanks, and let's click send email. Okay, you can see that it is showing us nothing because I forgot to write return redirect back after this. So let's write over here return redirect to first bracket, this arrow sign, and back. But don't worry, the email send is successful. If I just go to my that yaminshakil7@gmail.com, this email I should receive a mail. Here you can see send email notification, and here it says hello from web tech knowledge. This is my first email notification, and click me a button and thank you. And if I click on this button, here you can see it took me to my channel. So if you are with me up until now, so I'd actually really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, if you learn something from me. So let's do one more thing. Okay, let's just try with a different entry over here. Here you can see yaminshakil10@gmail.com. Let's click send email. Let's write the same thing. Click me the email address and last line, thank you. So the email address is yaminshakil10@gmail.com. Let's click send. And here you can see the email send is done. So if I go to my email, yaminshakil10@gmail.com, here you can see I received an email with some text over here. Now, if you are unable to find the email, you can also check it in the spam folder as well. And so right now you can see a design for this email, and this is a Laravel default design. So if you want to change the design, then you need to do a few more things, and that is here I already opened something over here. This is laravel.com, and inside this laravel.com here you can see we need to write this command in our command prompt. So let me just show you how we can edit it. I'm not going to modify it, I'm just going to show you how we can modify the design if you want. So let me just copy this, and let's go to my command prompt, and here I'm going to paste it over here. And here if I go to my code, and here you can see that in the views there is no vendor folder. Okay, so if I now just press enter over here, you can see it created a vendor folder in my view. So if I go to my vendor, here you can see mail, and here you can see HTML themes. You can change the button design, footer, header, then message panel. There's a lot of things that you can change the design from here. You can see text. So from here you can just explore it by yourself if you want to like change the email design. And one more thing, let me just tell you, here you can see that we got the text from the input field. If you want to like send a default input field, like default data, you can just write it over here inside the single quotation. You can write anything over here, and it will send this text to the mail. Okay, so you can do this as well. So I forgot to mention it before. So this is all about this tutorial. I hope this tutorial was useful to you, and if you have any question or any problem or any confusion, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll also give my Facebook link in the description, and also my mail in the description, so that if you have any critical problem, you can message me there, and I'll try to reply as fast as possible. If this tutorial was helpful to you, then I would actually really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned and stay healthy.